We're doing funeral potatoes today. If you've had them, you know how good they are. If you hadn't had them, you're in for a big treat because they are to die for. They're very close to Cracker Barrel potatoes, but I like to jazz mine up a little bit with some bacon and jalapeno. Anyways, we're doing it next, so stick around. All right, you can skip this step if you don't like jalapeno, but I like to kick it up a notch. So I got 3 jalapenos that I'm going to roast on an open flame here. Take a few minutes on each side just to get that roasty flavor. Now we're going to take an 8-ounce package of Monterey Jack cheese and an 8-ounce package of cheddar cheese. And we're going to shred those using our cheese shredder. It's way, way better to shred your own cheese than to buy the store-bought shredded cheese because they put a chemical in there. I don't remember what it's called, but it keeps the cheese from sticking together. And we don't want to eat chemicals, so we'll do it ourselves. So once we get all this cheese grated, we're going to set the cheese in the refrigerator. And then we're going to start to work on our onion and jalapenos. So we've already roasted the jalapenos. So I've got 1 medium white onion. I'm going to take the core out of each side using my paring knife. And then I'm going to take that first layer off and peel it nice. And then we're going to give it a rough chop. Toss it into our KitchenAid food processor. And dice it up nice. And while I'm doing that, if I could remind you to please like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Tell your enemies about us. Tell everybody about us. And make sure you hit that bell to stay up to date on all the newest recipes. I appreciate y'all very much. Alright, now we got those all nice and diced up. We're going to pop them into our non-stick skillet. And once we have all those onions in there, we're going to work on our jalapenos. Make sure you put some gloves on. Nothing worse than getting jalapeno juice in your eye. So we'll cut the tips off, cut it down on each side, open it up, and we'll get rid of all those seeds right down the sink. If you really want spice, leave the seeds in, but I don't like that much spice. Just a hint is what I like. So we'll cut those up and get those into the food processor. And just like the onions, we'll fire it up and get the jalapenos nice and diced up. Much easier than using your knife and chopping. And we'll add that to the same pan with our onions. There we go. And we're going to put this on medium heat. We'll add a little bit of olive oil to it. And we're going to saute these until the jalapenos become nice and soft and the onions start to become translucent. Take about 5 to 10 minutes max. And then once they are cooked to where you want, you're just going to put them in a bowl and set aside until we start to build our casserole. Now I've washed out the KitchenAid food processor, dried it real good, and I'm going to work on our topping, which is basically going to be a package, or in this case, since they're small, 2 packages of Ritz crackers. Going to put those right in there. And we're going to chop these up super fine. And we'll set this aside until we're ready to put our topping together for our casserole. I'm telling you, this little KitchenAid food processor really comes in handy. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you get one. I'll leave a link below where I got mine. I think it was out of Amazon. All right, time to get going. So what we're going to do is we need one 21-ounce can of cream of chicken soup, 2 cups of sour cream, and we'll get that mixed up real well. Now I've got our onions and peppers that we sauteed earlier. We'll add those. Mix those up real good. Some fresh ground pepper. And we'll add some salt as well. Now I've cooked up some bacon, about 4 strips of bacon, and then I chopped up, and we'll add that in there. And one of the problems when you are cooking and videotaping, sometimes you think you're recording and you're not. And that's what happened here. I have 2 packages of hash browns, 1 pound each, that I added that it didn't show. Oh, by the way, real quick, that was 1/2 of a cup of melted butter. So anyways, it doesn't show me putting the hash browns in. It's 2 pounds of either frozen or fresh. I like the simply fresh hash browns. But I added those in and mixed it up real well. I just don't have the video. I apologize. But you'll see here in a second, after I add the cheese. And reserve a little bit of that cheese for the topping as well. So we'll mix in all the cheese, and then magically you'll see the potatoes show up. There they are. Look at that. How'd that happen? Anyway, so you can put this into a large casserole if you're going to a party. I like to use my small individual serving boats. So that's what I'm going to fill in. I'm just going to hit them with a little bit of non-stick. Helps clean up. And we're just going to scoop in a couple scoops of the mixture. Just like so. And we'll do that on all the little boats. Then we're going to top it with some of the reserved cheese we left over. And then next we're going to get our Ritz crackers ready. So I've got 2 tablespoons of butter in a non-stick. Flame on medium. And once that butter melts, I'm going to add the Ritz crackers. And we'll mix them up real good, make sure it's coated nicely. You'll see the color change. That's what you're looking for right there. And now we're going to sprinkle the topping on top of our cheese. And remember again, the onion, yes, mandatory. The jalapenos or bacon are just an option. It's up to you. So once we get these all topped up, we're going to pop in the oven at 375 degrees for about 40 minutes or until golden brown. All right, enjoy these funeral potatoes, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.